Many older adults reach their 90s not by luck, but by maintaining a few simple habits. Many of us look at the aging process with a quiet sense of dread, assuming that reaching our golden years automatically means a decline in our health and joy. If you feel anxious about getting older, please know that this is a completely natural fear. Society often paints a bleak picture of aging, making us feel as though our best days are behind us. But the truth is, living a long and healthy life is rarely just a matter of genetic luck. Researchers have discovered that the people who thrive well into their 90s share a specific set of daily practices. In this video, we are going to talk about 6 habits that can fundamentally change the way your body experiences the passing years. These are gentle, profound shifts in your routine that signal to your cells that you are safe and engaged. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how these small actions create massive biological benefits. Stay tuned until the end, because you might realize you are already practicing one of these longevity secrets without even knowing its immense value. Once you recognize these habits, you will feel a renewed sense of control over your own future. Now let's get started. Number 1, a gentle morning movement routine. One of the most powerful habits that centenarians share is the practice of a gentle morning movement routine. When we wake up in our 60s and 70s, it is incredibly common to feel a deep stiffness in our joints and a heavy sluggishness in our muscles. If you find yourself struggling to get out of bed or feeling discouraged by how rigid your body feels in the AM, please do not blame yourself or think that your body is failing. This morning stiffness is simply a result of synovial fluid settling in your joints overnight. It is a completely natural biological process. However, the people who remain vibrant into their 90s do not let this temporary stiffness dictate their entire day. Instead, they gently coax their bodies awake. Consider Arthur, a 72-year-old retired teacher who used to force himself out of bed and immediately rush into his daily chores, leaving his lower back aching for hours. He thought he was just getting old and frail. Once he understood how his joints needed lubrication, he changed his approach. Before even stepping out of bed, Arthur began spending 10 minutes gently stretching his arms, rolling his ankles and pulling his knees to his chest. This slow, deliberate movement signaled to his nervous system that it was time to wake up safely. It encouraged the lubricating fluids to wash over his joints, easing the friction and stiffness. By the time his feet hit the floor, his body felt prepared and willing to move. This habit is not about intense exercise. It is about deep physical respect. When you take the time to gently stretch your muscles each morning, you are sending a loving message to your body. You are actively preventing injuries, improving your blood circulation, and setting a calm, energized tone for the hours ahead. It is a beautiful way to maintain your physical independence and prove to yourself that your body is still a magnificent, adaptable system. Number 2, prioritizing deep hydration before noon. Another profound habit that sets thriving older adults apart is prioritizing deep hydration before the afternoon begins. We often underestimate the sheer power of water, viewing it as just a simple beverage rather than the essential fuel that keeps our cellular engines running. As we age, our brain's thirst receptors naturally become less sensitive. You might easily go through your entire morning and early afternoon without ever feeling a strong urge to pour yourself a glass of water. If you have been doing this, please understand that it is absolutely not a sign of neglect on your part. It is a very normal biological shift, where the communication between your brain and your body becomes a little softer. However, when you wait until you feel thirsty to drink, you are likely already in a state of mild dehydration. This lack of fluid forces your heart to work significantly harder to pump thickened blood, leaving you feeling exhausted, foggy, and prone to muscle cramps. Think about Barbara, a 76-year-old grandmother who loves spending her mornings volunteering at the local library. Over the past year, she noticed that by 11 in the morning, she felt completely drained, unable to concentrate, and often struggled with a mild headache. She assumed these were just the inevitable signs of cognitive decline and felt a deep, quiet sadness about losing her sharpness. When a health professional gently asked about her water intake, Barbara realized she only drank a small cup of coffee at breakfast and nothing else until lunch. Once she understood that her brain was simply starved for hydration, she made a beautiful, proactive change. She began filling a large glass of water every single morning and made a commitment to finish it before she even left the house. The transformation was truly miraculous. Within just a few days, her afternoon brain fog completely lifted. Her joints felt less achy. Her skin looked remarkably brighter, and her energy levels soared. She was not experiencing cognitive decline at all. She was simply dehydrated. Water is the magical substance that flushes toxins from your kidneys, cushions your sensitive joints, and allows your brain cells to communicate with lightning speed. When you make it a habit to deeply hydrate your body early in the day, you are literally bathing your internal organs in life-giving moisture. You do not have to force yourself to drink gallons of water all at once. Simply sipping steadily throughout the morning is enough to keep your system perfectly balanced. This habit is a profound act of self-care that requires almost no effort, but yields massive rewards for your longevity. By staying ahead of your body's thirst, you are actively protecting your cardiovascular health and ensuring that your mind remains brilliantly clear. It is a simple, beautiful way to honor your physical vessel and guarantee that you have the energetic resources you need to fully enjoy your day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, actively seeking out daily moments of awe. The third remarkable habit that essentially paves the way to a vibrant life at 90 is actively seeking out daily moments of awe and deep gratitude. As we navigate the complexities of life, it is incredibly easy to become hyper-focused on our responsibilities, our aches and pains, and the endless stream of negative news that surrounds us. If you have found yourself feeling somewhat numb to the world, or if the days seem to blur together in a gray, monotonous routine, please do not judge yourself harshly. This emotional flattening is a very common psychological defense mechanism. Your brain is simply trying to manage the overwhelming amount of stress and information in the modern world by tuning out the subtle details of your environment. However, remaining in this state of emotional detachment can quietly raise your cortisol levels, increase systemic inflammation, and weaken your immune system. The people who live the longest and happiest lives have learned how to intentionally break this cycle by cultivating a sense of wonder. Consider Richard, an 81-year-old retired accountant who felt like his life had lost its vibrant color. He spent his days sitting in his living room, watching the clock and feeling a heavy sense of isolation. He believed that because his grand adventures of traveling and working were behind him, there was nothing left to be amazed by. One day, a friend suggested he spend just 15 minutes each afternoon, sitting on his porch without any distractions, simply observing the world. Richard was skeptical but decided to try it. On the third day, he noticed a pair of hummingbirds dancing around his feeder. He watched the sunlight catch their iridescent feathers and felt a sudden, profound swell of emotion in his chest. That tiny moment of awe completely reset his nervous system. Richard began to look forward to his porch time every single day. He started noticing the intricate patterns of the clouds, the changing colors of the leaves, and the sound of the wind through the trees. His blood pressure dropped, his sleep improved drastically, and his overall mood became incredibly joyful. Experiencing awe is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity for a long, healthy life. When you allow yourself to be amazed by something beautiful, whether it is a blooming flower, a piece of classical music, or the laughter of a child, your brain releases a cascade of healing chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine. These chemicals act as natural painkillers and antidepressants. They lower your heart rate and signal to your body that the world is a safe and wonderful place to be. You do not need to travel to exotic locations to find awe. It is abundantly present right in your own backyard or living room, if you simply take the time to notice it. By making it a daily habit to pause and appreciate the magnificent details of life, you are building an impenetrable fortress of emotional resilience. You are refusing to let the passing years dull your spirit. This active pursuit of beauty keeps your heart wide open and your mind endlessly curious, which are the true hallmarks of eternal youth. You have the power to infuse your daily life with magic, simply by choosing where to direct your attention. Number 4, practicing intentional cognitive resting. The fourth essential habit that you must embrace if you wish to thrive in your later decades is practicing intentional cognitive resting. We live in a society that constantly glorifies busyness and productivity. Even in retirement, many older adults feel an immense, unspoken pressure to constantly stay engaged. Whether that means keeping the television running all day for background noise, scrolling through endless articles on a tablet, or constantly managing family affairs. If you feel guilty whenever you sit down to simply do nothing, please release that heavy burden right now. You have been conditioned for decades to believe that resting is a sign of laziness, but nothing could be further from the truth. Your brain is an incredibly complex, hardworking organ that processes millions of pieces of information every single day. Just like your muscles need rest after a long walk, your brain desperately requires periods of absolute silence to consolidate memories, clear out metabolic waste, and repair its delicate neural networks. Think about Susan, a 74-year-old former nurse who always prided herself on being a master multitasker. Even in her 70s, she kept the news channel playing constantly while she cooked, cleaned, and knitted. Over time, Susan developed severe mental fatigue and found herself becoming highly anxious and forgetful. She worried deeply that she was developing dementia. What Susan did not realize was that her brain was simply suffocating under the weight of constant, unrelenting stimulation. Once she learned about the vital importance of cognitive resting, she made a profound shift in her routine. Every afternoon at 2 p.m., Susan turned off the television, put away her knitting, and sat in her favorite comfortable chair in total silence for 20 minutes. She did not try to meditate or force her mind to be blank. She simply allowed herself to exist without any incoming information. Within a month, the results were astonishing. Her memory sharpened, her anxiety melted away, and she felt a deep, grounded sense of peace. This period of waking rest allows the brain's default mode network to activate, which is essential for creative problem solving and emotional regulation. By intentionally stepping away from the noise of the world, you are giving your brain the luxurious opportunity to clean house. You are literally helping your body flush out the amyloid proteins that can build up and cause cognitive decline. Intentional resting is one of the most productive, life-affirming things you can possibly do for your longevity. It proves that you respect your mental boundaries and understand the profound value of stillness. You have spent a lifetime taking care of problems and absorbing information. You have more than earned the right to simply sit in a quiet room and enjoy the beautiful sound of silence. By incorporating this habit into your daily life, you protect your cognitive health and ensure that your mind remains sharp, focused, and brilliantly clear for many years to come. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, releasing the weight of old grievances. The fifth transformative habit that is heavily linked to living a vibrant life. Past 90 is the conscious decision to release the heavy weight of old grievances and practice deep forgiveness. As we journey through decades of life, it is inevitable that we will experience betrayals, heartbreaks, and profound disappointments. People we trusted may have hurt us, or situations may have unfolded in deeply unfair ways. If you are currently carrying a sense of anger or bitterness towards someone from your past, please understand that your feelings are entirely valid. You were hurt, and your anger was a natural shield designed to protect your heart from further damage. However, holding on to that resentment for years is like carrying a heavy backpack full of stones everywhere you go. The chronic emotional stress of a long-held grudge keeps your nervous system locked in a mild but constant state of fight or flight. This elevates your blood pressure, suppresses your immune system, and accelerates the aging process at a cellular level. Consider Thomas, a 78-year-old retired businessman who harbored a deep, burning resentment toward a former business partner who had treated him unfairly 20 years prior. Thomas thought about the betrayal often, replaying the arguments in his head and feeling his chest tighten with anger every single time. He suffered from chronic digestive issues and high blood pressure, which his doctors struggled to manage. One day, Thomas realized that his anger was only punishing his own body, while his former partner was completely unaffected. He made the brave, monumental decision to actively practice forgiveness. This did not mean he condoned the bad behavior or wanted to reconnect with the person. It simply meant he decided to stop drinking the poison of resentment. Thomas began to visualize the heavy weight lifting from his shoulders and consciously wished the other person peace. The physical impact of this emotional release was staggering. Within weeks, Thomas's digestion regulated perfectly. His blood pressure dropped into a healthy range, and he slept deeply for the first time in decades. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to the person who hurt you. It is the ultimate gift of physical and emotional freedom that you give to yourself. When you let go of past grievances, you literally change your biochemistry. You stop the flood of stress hormones and allow your body to divert its precious energy toward healing and cellular repair. You make a beautiful declaration that your present joy and your future health are far more important than the pain of the past. It takes immense courage and seasoned wisdom to lay down your emotional weapons, but the reward is a significantly longer, happier life. By making it a daily habit to forgive small slights and release old resentments, you keep your heart soft and your spirit incredibly light. You clear away the emotional clutter, making expansive room for love, peace, and deep contentment in your golden years. Number 6, designing a purposeful evening wind down. The sixth and final habit that is absolutely essential for a long, healthy life is designing a purposeful, calming evening wind down routine. Sleep is the foundational pillar of all human health, but as we pass 60, our sleep architecture naturally begins to change. You might find that you do not sleep as deeply as you did in your 30s, or that you wake up several times during the night. If you have been tossing and turning, worrying that you are developing terrible insomnia, please take a deep breath and let go of that anxiety. Your brain's production of sleep-inducing hormones naturally decreases with age, meaning your body simply needs stronger, more intentional signals to know that it is time to rest. You are not broken. Your system just requires a gentler approach. The people who maintain vibrant health into their 90s do not leave their sleep to chance. They actively prepare their bodies for rest. Think about Eleanor, an 80-year-old woman who used to stay up late, watching bright, action-packed television shows right until the moment she turned off the lamp. She would then lie in the dark for hours, her heart racing and her mind spinning with anxious thoughts. She felt exhausted every single day and believed her body had forgotten how to sleep. Once Eleanor understood how sensitive her aging nervous system was to light and stimulation, she completely overhauled her evenings. 2 hours before her desired bedtime, Eleanor initiated a beautiful wind-down ritual. She turned off the television and all bright overhead lights, relying instead on a few dim, warm amber lamps. She listened to soft classical music and drank a small cup of chamomile tea while reading a gentle, uplifting book. This deliberate reduction in sensory input sent a powerful, undeniable message to her brain that the day was truly over. It coaxed her natural melatonin production to begin. The transformation in her sleep quality was absolutely incredible. Eleanor started falling asleep peacefully and staying asleep through the night, waking up with a renewed, joyful energy. Your evening routine is the bridge between the activity of the day and the restorative healing of the night. When you create a predictable, soothing sequence of events, you are deeply respecting your body's biological rhythms. You are giving your nervous system the vital runway it needs to land safely. This habit reduces nighttime cortisol spikes and ensures that your brain has the deep, uninterrupted time it needs to clear toxins and repair your tissues. By dedicating your evenings to peace and relaxation, you are profoundly investing in your longevity. You are creating a luxurious, comforting sanctuary for yourself at the end of every day. This simple commitment to a structured wind-down routine proves that you have the power to influence your own biology and guarantee that you wake up every morning, ready to embrace the beauty of a new day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we bring our conversation to a gentle close today, I want you to take a slow, comforting breath and reflect deeply on the 6 beautiful habits we have just explored together. We have discussed the profound importance of a gentle morning movement routine, the revitalizing power of prioritizing deep hydration before noon, the emotional necessity of actively seeking out daily moments of awe, the restorative magic of practicing intentional cognitive resting, the physical healing that comes from releasing the weight of old grievances, and the biological support of designing a purposeful evening wind down. If you realize during this video that you have been neglecting a few of these areas, or if you have been feeling completely overwhelmed by the aging process, I want you to immediately release any feelings of guilt, fear, or self-criticism. The challenges you face as you grow older are absolutely not a sign of personal failure, nor do they mean that your body is helplessly deteriorating. Your body and your mind have successfully carried you through decades of remarkable experiences, heartbreaks, victories, and quiet everyday miracles. Right now, your magnificent system is simply asking you for a different, more refined kind of support. True longevity is not merely about extending the number of days you spend on this earth. It is about ensuring that those days are filled with lightness, energy, and absolute peace of mind. When you free yourself from the cultural myth that getting older means giving up, you open up an expansive, beautiful space to truly enjoy the things that matter most. You gain the energetic freedom to play with your grandchildren, to tend to your beloved garden, to laugh with old friends, and to explore the world with a renewed sense of wonder. Your future is not set in stone, and your current struggles do not have to be your permanent reality. By listening closely to the gentle whispers of your body and responding with these 6 supportive habits, you are laying a rock-solid foundation for a vibrant, comfortable, and deeply fulfilling life ahead. Never forget that your journey is uniquely yours, and you have every right to seek absolute comfort and joy in every single day. I highly encourage you to pick just one small habit we discussed today and gently introduce it into your routine tomorrow. Celebrate that small victory and deeply trust that your body will respond with immense gratitude and renewed strength. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoy